Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be having a look at the Wild King Optimus Prime figure. So all thanks to my good friend Fungboy, who managed to find me one of these whilst he was on holiday. We're going to unbox him in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a look at him in both modes, help you decide how you want to display him. Although I don't have any of the other limbs to combine him, I'm going to show you how what an easy process it is to do so. And of course, we're bringing some other Optimus Primes from other toy lines to give you an idea of his size and scale. So before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, I'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. Right, let's have a quick look at the packaging then, because there's just something about Japanese packaging that's beautiful. Even though this is a very basic, and I think I'm going to be honest when I'm saying this, kids toy, as you'll see in a second, packaging is beautiful. I wish I had the other limbs to be able to do that. It just looks a lot of fun, which again is what I like about and what's kept me interested in these toys for all of these years. So he comes packaged in a giant clamshell like so. You've probably already noticed I've uploaded the transformation tutorial. In all honesty, I don't normally do transformations on the videos, keep the length of the video down, but because this guy is so basic, I'll probably will do it just to keep the video flowing. So in honesty, I've had a good look at him, I've had a little play around with him. I think he's just an oversized version, very similar to the core class, and I'll show you why in a second. In fact, let's just drop down a little bit to get him all on screen. But the figure itself, as you can see, is big, it is chunky, it is giant actually, to be honest. Let me bring you up some primes. There's Commander class Optimus Prime, which you can see. I'm going to do a few of these now, then a few of these later. This again is another what I would class as really big Optimus Prime figure, which you can see there. In fact, I'll just do a couple more so there's not too many. There is the deluxe version, and funnily enough, this is the Devastation deluxe version. I'll do some more comparisons in a minute, but you've got an idea of just how big he is. His articulation for a big figure isn't too bad either. I'll show you that right now. The heads, if I'm being super honest, I think I need to apply a little bit more pressure to get that silver bit over there, but because I've put loads of pressure on it, I'm really dubious to do so, and for obvious reasons, I don't think I'll ever see one of these again, so I don't want to break it. However, you can still turn the head all the way around, have it look up and down. The arms will go up like so there, which you can do the T. You could basically call this a butterfly joint-ish, but it is for transformation purposes. You can spin around underneath the shoulder. There is the top of the torso spin, again very reminiscent of the core class, and this is where it gets a little interesting because my arm will probably pop off. There you go. You do have bicep flexion, but this is of course if you were to be combining. Now I don't have any of the limbs, but it's as simple as that. You pop this off, everything comes together via these two 5mm ports, and there's two 5mm port pots everywhere. So for these as well, you'll see in the truck mode they advertise this to go on the shoulder, but whilst it's in robot mode, it works better if you stick them as heels just to help him balance that little bit more. The other really cool thing as well is, if we were going to attach a limb there, then what you can do is you can take his normal arm. There's a little port in there. Oh, we need to bend this all the way over underneath first and foremost. You can secure his arm in there. This will then close up around it, so you can even secure the pieces as well, which again, it's brilliant. I love things like that. Again, if he was going to be the giant mode, you can take this additional part to the head, and then we can attach this around. So you've got the huge Optimus Prime head for if we were combining him. With regards to the legs, again, you'll see here, it just pops off via these 5mm ports. Let's see if I can get him to balance. Yes, I can. And then what you would do is you bring this down. Obviously, it wouldn't have this bit on the back. And then what you've got is his lower leg turns basically into a giant boot. So there's the two 5mm ports. You'd pop it there, you'd pop another figure in, and he'd be pretty tall by now. But it's fun. This is what I love about these figures. As I've already said, just such fond memories as a child of being able to mess around with Menosaur, Bruticus, etc. This is Scramble City at its newest level, because of course Scramble City meant you could do exactly that, scramble all the limbs around, have a bit of fun with it. Let me just pop this back here, and of course bring his arm out. Let me get that to pop in. You'll see it is quite hollow. It is super basic, but as I say, the demographic that it's aimed at, I'd love this. I'd love these to be readily available. In fact, it probably wouldn't, because I'd be skint, because I'd be buying them all, making crazy combinations. We've got this part here, which obviously is normally the matrix chamber. You can also attach the parts from the individual limbs to it as well, and you can attach them to the back. The legs will go out to the side. You can maneuver this out of the way as well. Out to the side, to the front. And then you've got sort of, you don't have a swivel, but you can see you've got a knee bend. But again, be careful, this might pop off. And you don't have an ankle tilt or rock because they are all joined together. But overall, as I say, the brilliant fact as well that everything is a 5mm port. So you can take weapons from any of the other figures in any of the other toy lines, like so. You can pop these. He says, yes, you can, thankfully. I thought that was going to pop out then. You can pop the blasters in, you can do loads of things. He's got his own weapons as well, which of course I'm going to show you now. He's got his axe, which again will fit in like so. It is basic. You can attach this to the side if you want, and I'm pretty sure I can also take this and attach this to the back. Is it on here? Let's have a look. I'm sure there's a little clip or a little tab. Yep, there you go. So you just make your axe that little bit more filled out until he gets into his main combined mode. So let me just bring in a few more other figures to give you an idea of size and scale. So there's your core class, there's your Hot Wheels. Let me bring in a Siege, which is also another Voyager. Let me bring in, that's as good as G1 because it's missing Link. Funnily enough, I've got this guy here as well. Let's bring in Cyberworld. So it would be interesting to do a Cyberworld versus Wild King sort of, you know, figure off just to see which is the most fun. They're both fun in their own right, to be honest. But I think for me personally, I think the fact that this has got all the combining mechanisms, etc., would make him a winner for me anyway. Because again, stating the obvious, I absolutely love it. It is fun. Right, so this is why you can tell it's similar to the core class figure. What we're going to do, we're going to tuck the head in there. It does literally stay there pretty much visible. Take the top of the torso, let's spin this around, let's join the legs together, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to bend the shoulders back, hold on to this, and then bring the arm forward. The reason why I've got to hold on to it is because it will pop out quite easily, because again, it is a combining limb. That's going to tap into there. There you go. That wasn't even intentional, it just did that by itself. That's going to click into there, and then these tabs are going to fit into the front. So into there, rather, into the tops of what are the kneecaps. And I don't know whether to say as good as it sounds or as bad as it sounds. Oh, I've left them on. That's pretty much it. It's super basic. It'd be interesting to see what you could do with regards to maybe combining, making up a giant, I don't know, a truck or something. This can go on the side there. I'm just seeing if there's any other places, or it can go backwards out of the way like so. Pretty much like how they have you all doing. With regards to size though, it's massive. That's your, there you go, there's your Ultra Magnus little cab, there's your little Hot Wheels Nemesis Prime, which funny enough will probably fit near enough on the back. It's tiny compared to that. With regards to the pretty much industry standard, where's he gone? There it is. The Earthrise Optimus, you can see much bigger, much more chunky than that. There we go. It would be interesting, actually, I'm pretty sure, saying that, I've just thought off the top of my head, you could probably use the fossilizers, you could probably use some of the Junkians, all the different things that you could do with all them limbs, and I'm sure Botbender would be able to create something pretty spectacular with regards to all of these. And again, what I really like is all these things with a 5mm port, so you could probably pop these on here, and then you could take, see what I mean? I just like to play with figures. You could pop him on the back, and then he's, there you go, driving that along. Again, it's a toy, it's fun, and that's exactly, I suppose, what you're supposed to do with it. I'm going to pretty much wrap up, though, by getting him back into his robot mode. And as I say, I am going to go on the hunt, hopefully pretty soon. Hopefully they'll get released over here, or they'll be much more widely available, because at the moment, the prices of them, even, as I say, via some of the Japanese auction websites, etc., they're still very high for what it is. I wouldn't even know what class it would be. Does anybody have an idea? Would you class it as Voyager? What would you class it as? I know, obviously, they say that the size and scale isn't, you know, representative of a few things anymore, but I've got no idea what this would even be classed as, because it is huge. And I'm going to put it in that way. It should be a bit easier. Spin it around. And as I say, with the limbs, it's definitely something going to give Cyberworld a run for its money, especially if we do get them in English anytime soon. But that's pretty much all there is to say about him. It's a lot of fun, and it has the potential to be even more fun, if we're being completely honest. It looks great. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Funboy. Take care.